Good evening, and welcome to the 21st of January edition of the Kennebunkport Planning Board. We're gathered here at the firehouse. There is a Zoom component as well. We'll start with attendance. There's 3 members of the board here tonight, so we do have a quorum. Rick, George, and myself. Peter, the 4th member, is he got called out for work, so he's well.
Work.
But, you remember when you used to work? Oh God, that was awful.
It wasn't so very long ago.
All right, so there's the 3 of us, and Nadia is out tonight, but Galen is here from the code enforcement and planning team, and David Bancroft, our select person representative. I'll start by asking the board if they got a chance to look at the minutes that came out for both the 17th of December and the 7th of January.
I looked at December, I have not looked at January.
Okay.
The ones that came out earlier today?
Yeah, they were.
I did, I glanced at them, yeah.
Do you want to abstain? No, it takes 3 of us to approve. So you want to hang back on the 7th of January? They came back today.
I can approve December, but I haven't looked at January
Yeah,
yet,
okay.
and I have watched this.
So let's approve December's,
Okay.
and we will take up the 7th of January, which, by the way, looked good to me. We're just, yeah.
Yep.
So I think we're going to be okay with that, but let's hold off on those and bring them back for approval at the next meeting in February.
So was that a motion to approve the December?
That is a motion.
Make a motion to approve December's
Oh,
minutes.
I second that
Glad you're
motion.
here to take care of us. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we need it. Those
All in favor?
Yes.
Here we go.
There
Yep.
we go, December. And with that, I'd like to introduce the first of 3 items that are on the agenda this evening. First is number 260101, 8 Temple Street. It's the South Congregational Church. This is an initial review.
Good evening, I'm Gregory Scott. I'm a member of South Church and the project manager for our proposed renovations. As you can see from the cover letter that was in your packet, we have a number of things planned, from renovating a kitchen, adding HVAC equipment, upgrading our electrical system, including the addition of a generator. And then the outside things are relocation of our ADA ramp to make it compliant now with ADA requirements, to remove sidewalks that are on the church property that will no longer be needed because that ADA ramp will no longer be along the side of the building, it will be on the front of the building. And to put in a drainage system along the front, a French drain to better drain the water that comes off that building. So if you would like me to go through the external...
We'd appreciate that.
Sure, of course.
That would be great.
So, as I said, the first thing would be the placement of a French drain that would go along the entire front of the building, drain around either side, either the west or the east side of the building on church property, but that would better help the drainage of the church, of the community house. The second would be replacement of our front stairs, which are in need of extensive repair. And so those would come out just a little bit further, about 3 or 4 feet further than what they do currently. We would relocate our ADA ramp, which currently is along the west side and south side of the building, so south side being along the municipal parking lot. So it extends around there, just a straight shot up. There's no rest, place, what have you. So we want to remove that, replace it with some back stairs for egress, but then put that ADA ramp, as you no doubt saw from the renderings from the architect, along the front to the left of the front steps that would then come onto these extended front steps to accept that ADA ramp.
I know you don't have something for the easel. Do you have a mechanism for bringing up that,
Yeah, I can.
that one pager?
I can share you want the diagram or what?
The
what-
diagram
Yeah.
that he's talking to, just to get a sense of the stairs and
Yep.
which way is west.
Are those the front stairs?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So the west is towards the River Green, so towards South Church, if you're up towards Church Lane.
If I'm looking at the front of the church,
Well, look at the front of the community center, so
right here.
post office is behind you.
Yes.
So you're looking at the front of the community center.
Yeah.
The west side is where the right-of-way comes up from the parking lot.
I see.
And then the east side is there by the Kennebunkport Inn.
So we're talking the community center, not the
Not
church.
the
church.
Not the
Church.
church itself.
Right. Correct.
Yeah,
Clarify
yeah,
that
okay.
to remind
Yeah.
me of that too.
Where Santa Claus goes.
So this is their proposed layout for the new ADA ramp right here. And then you'll see that they have this patio area back here.
And where's Temple Street on this again?
Temple's right here.
Right,
Where the
over that
cursor,
side.
yeah.
Okay, so essentially the stairs, the new ramp is gonna be right out in front.
Correct.
So this is the existing right now. So they have a lot of walk space, sorry.
Yeah,
And they're substituting that for the patio space that you saw in the second spot. But then the ramp that they currently have is to the north, right here. And so they're making it more conforming by bringing it in through the setbacks on this side.
and I know that the memo from the planning department does have a question about clarifying the pluses and minuses on the coverage, but it looked like to the first order, it's a wash, right? You're taking out as much as you're adding.
Actually adding back just a little less.
Okay, so
I
we
would,
should be fine,
yeah, I would note one thing is that the 8 square feet of the generator pad
yeah.
was not added into the 678, so it's actually 686 square feet we'd be putting back. The architect forgot to add it back on when he was doing the math.
But you're subtracting more than that, 700 something.
757 square feet, adding back 687 square feet. 686.
I interrupted you, thanks. This is what I was after.
So as you can see, what's there in blue are the existing sidewalks. The sidewalks that we would be removing, of course, are those for the church. The one coming up the center to the front stairs, we of course would be leaving, that comes from the town sidewalk itself.
That's staying.
That is staying. And the generator pad, just so you know, is coming, if you remember where the new ADA ramp is going.
If you could bring up the new one again.
Yeah, the new.
Thank you.
And you see it, so the new ADA ramp, if you look just to the left of it, that little, yeah, right in there, that's where the whole building generator is going.
I see.
And then the other thing that will be done is we're going to be removing our 100-gallon propane tank and putting in a 500-gallon in-ground tank.
And that's because of the generator?
Because of the generator and because we're going to an on-demand water, hot water system.
And are you subtracting out that pad for the, or the tank is on the inside?
The tank is
Underground.
underground.
But currently?
It's above ground.
Okay.
It's not on a pad, it's just sitting on the ground.
Okay, thanks.
Is there nothing down that street to tie into?
In terms of
Propane or natural gas or any?
nothing that I'm aware.
No, okay.
Gotta move to Brunswick.
No gas up there.
So, again, the major addition back beyond the ramp is the patio on the back. We do hold quite a few community events. Currently, they're just held there on the grass in the back. We'd like to put in that so it's a little bit more user-friendly, if you will.
A bit of a slope in the back?
There is a little bit of a slope, so we'll have, we're figuring about 2 or 3 level tapered landscaping block that will need to go in.
Okay.
So the location of that could vary just a little bit depending upon how we navigate that. And it doesn't show it there, but there's a very large tree and we obviously don't want to impinge on the tree roots. So that's a little bit flexible in terms of exact location.
It's fenced in back there, yes?
There actually is no longer a fence.
Okay, used to be at a daycare, right?
Long time ago, yes. We've talked about putting in a fence because there are a lot of people from the inn who park on that grass in the
Sure.
back.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Just the ones that were noted on the memo by the town staff, things
Okay.
like just announcing any changes to parking, any changes to drainage, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, no, the parking stays the same in the
Yeah.
back. Drainage, as I said, we're gonna drain, so it's on the church property.
No new signage, no lighting.
The only thing in your packet was a light that will be put on the
ramp.
building, just to the left of the front entrance, that will be motion sensitive to light up the ADA ramp.
Did you get a chance to look at the memo from the planning department?
I did not know.
So, I know if Nadia were here, I would ask her to go through it. I'm happy to
I
go.
can go through it if you want.
If you don't mind, I think that there's some good questions in there. I think they're all answerable, but,
Yep.
wouldn't mind. I have a paper copy. Or you-
So on the application, there was a discrepancy on one of the sheets about the total number of square footage for the impervious surface at 757. There was one of the pages where it had just 678 square feet. So it was just a discrepancy difference. Just go back to the sheet to look at that.
Well, that's what I was just speaking to,
Yeah.
the generator pad, it's that 8 square feet.
Okay.
No, I think you're saying that
Yeah,
in a reading of the application, I
Right.
think there's a place where it says the existing is 678.
that's correct. Let me
And that's
pull up the
not what-
application.
I know that's not what
No.
you're saying, but it'd be nice if we could find where it says that,
It's in the application form.
okay? Let me see. Application form, I see, or maybe there's a letter, no? Form has percentages.
Where's this at? Coverage, total coverage. So let me share this. Bear with me, Nadia's a lot quicker at finding the share screen. Okay. So on this application here, we're noticing down at the architect's existing site plan coverage removed, he's mentioning a total removed of 757 square feet. The other, where's the other one at? Up here, you'll see that this note says that we have the 757 removed and we're adding the 678, so it's a net loss of 79.
That looks good too.
So I think that was the discrepancy.
Just want to confirm
Yeah,
that. I think that's consistent with what you're saying,
Right,
that you're not adding back quite as much.
right.
even when you include the pad.
Right, so we're removing 757.
Yep.
We indicated 678, but I noticed after I submitted it to you, he forgot to add back in the 8 for the pad.
Plus
So
8,
it's 686.
Okay,
and that'll get fixed on the plans.
yep. The next item is, there's no contours listed on this plan. So for the topographical, there's nothing there. That's part of the submission requirements.
Okay,
So that would have to be added.
okay.
Is there an easy way to
yes.
do that?
Yep. So I can show you, the town has a GIS service. So when you go, I'm doing this quickly, but right on the front page, you'll see there's a GIS map. And when you click that, what this does is it gives you access to all the town parcels. You just type in your address, it'll take you to it.
8.
And then over here, you have this left-hand layers tab. And just for public education, there's a lot of good tools on this side. You can see zoning, you can see shoreland, you can put all kinds of different buffers on if you want. The one you'd be interested in is under the state data.
Okay.
And it's alphabetical, so you just would look for contour. Just make sure the 2-foot markers are clicked. And that should give you the contours. It does take a little bit of time to load. But once it loads, you can zoom into your property to how you like it. And then on the right-hand side, I have the zoom cursors on my way. There is a print function. And you just hit that print the map, and that will load you a PDF for you to print out and include your packet.
Okay, thanks for the
There's 2
tutorial.
things. There's one.
Yeah. So that is that section. Let me go back to list here. They didn't have a parking plan submitted or loading, unloading, like where construction is going to take place. This could be just a simple narrative.
Okay.
You just need to explain where you're going to unload the materials and where construction is going to take place.
Okay,
That's just a narrative. It doesn't
Right.
need to be anything.
dumpster location, that kind of thing as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, the concern, of course, from abutters would be, hey, this is a busy street. I mean,
Sure,
you certainly know that.
sure, absolutely.
So if you could
We
affirm that.
We looked at the plan, we didn't notice a location for water lines. Again, just, it's a concern for construction-wise, like where are those water lines at, to make sure that where your construction's taking place is not going to have an impact.
Yeah, I talked to the water department today, actually. One of our church members works there, so we're gonna do the dig safe and they'll do the water lines as well.
Okay. The other thing we noticed was in the cover letter, there was proposed French drains. You mentioned it was in the front lawn area. I would just indicate a box or whatever where that French drain is going,
Okay,
just so that they're aware, they know where it's at.
Where the outflow
Yep,
of that is.
where's it
okay,
going?
all right,
Landscaping, there was no landscaping plan for the area. Again, that could be as simple as you respond saying, we're going to take any of the area, like the sidewalk areas that's being removed, you're going to replant it with
grass, right.
vegetation.
What narrative
Yeah.
is.
It's more of a narrative response. And again, I did send this memo to your email, so if you didn't get that, let me know.
Yeah, I didn't receive it as of 5 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, it was last week.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
You got the
we'll
wrong email.
we'll resend it then,
Alright,
just so
thank
you're
you.
aware. Let's see here.
Lighting.
Lighting, so for the lighting on this application here, what staff noticed was the proposed lumens that's proposed for this location is greater than what the ordinance allows for. You can use the lumens that you're proposing. We just need to know what's the height, like where are you, how high is this light fixture going to be to make
Okay.
sure it's in compliance with our ordinance.
okay,
That can be simple on one of his architect drawings, just indicate where that light is.
Okay.
So we know what the measurement is to see if it's in compliance. There was a proposed waiver suggested from staff about signage, that we don't think that's a requirement that should be expected of the planning board. And then the exterior footprint calculations should be included on the application in square feet, not as percentage of lot coverage. So that's just a minor change in your application.
And you can leave the percentage, just add
The square, yeah, the
the
square
square
foot.
footage that gave rise to that.
And then the application shows that the percentage of the lot covered by buildings will remain the same, other impervious will increase, and the exterior footprint will decrease. The applicant should clarify on the application whether the total impervious surface present on the lot will increase or decrease. So that's the,
How's that different from what
yeah.
you just told us though, which is we have 757, we're gonna go to 686.
Mhm.
What more is that staff person looking for?
That's what they're making sure the application form is jiving correctly.
I'm just looking for a specific thing that Mr. Scott needs to do to make that go from comment outstanding to
Mhm.
comment dispositioned. What would it take for 16B for us to say, oh yeah, not a problem?
So I think once we take care of this, I've put the application form up.
That anomaly that.
Yeah, so once we take care of that discrepancy, I think that will solve the
Okay,
problem.
yeah. It's not another thing, it's
Right.
just another verbalizing.
Yes.
Okay. And certainly the board doesn't have any problem waiving the need for details on signage that you're not
No.
using. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's good.
And the other staff comment was from the code enforcement office, and they just said, again, for the interior renovations, that's gonna be something that's gonna be reviewed by staff for the internal workings, like to make sure that you're renovating your kitchen, right? So we wanna make sure that's the correct code, but that's at the staff level, not planning board level.
I've already met with them a
Yep.
couple times about it, so, okay.
Sounds like it's moving right along. Any other questions, Rick? Did you?
No, any questions I had were addressed in the memo.
So I would, with these small changes that I think are minor enough for me to at least move that we declare this to be a complete application.
I second that.
I approve.
All three?
Good work.
So this is a complete application, and the next step is for you to provide those edits,
Mhm.
and that's done in short order. We should be able to put a public hearing on the agenda in February, correct?
Yep, February 4th.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Any volunteers for
bother you.
case manager?
I just wanna make sure.
Well, once I figure out what to,
On the other one, let's hold that other one in abeyance.
okay.
I don't think that's gonna be a big deal.
Is that the rate?
This is a more normal
Yeah, I'll
site
do it,
plan.
I'll do it. I don't,
And I think you've got, if you look at the one that we're gonna read
Okay,
tonight.
so I sent that on
it's got a
Thursday.
template.
okay.
That's how I would
Okay.
address it.
Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Yep.
That's comparable.
Yep, thank you.
Peter does a wonderful job. Second item on the agenda tonight is number 260102, 8 North Street. Also an initial review.
All right. Thank you, everyone. My name is Lena Toby. I'm from Walsh Engineering Associates. I'm here on behalf of Peter and Gretchen Warren, owners of the property at 8 North Street. And with me, I've got Peter Warren and then Bill Walsh from the Walsh Engineering team. Let's see, I've got a little PowerPoint up here just for some photo references, and there's some bullets up here. Big picture, so 8 North Street is located on the Kennebunk River. It's got 475 linear feet of frontage on the river.
It's just up the street from the one we just talked about.
Yeah.
Exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And right, you can see the Cape Ronald Golf Course. There's a lot of repeats here. So let's see. There's a flood zone AE on the property, elevation 9, and I'll flash to the next slide, kind of talk through the project need. So on the right side are some pictures of the shoreline embankment at the property, the toe, the bottom of that embankment. But what's going on is that there's significant erosion and scour of the toe of that embankment. The mature trees, you can see 2 of them in that top photo. They're, because of the scour, the area beneath the root ball of the tree has been completely eroded, leaving just a 12 to 18 inch exposed space beneath them. So those trees right now are at risk of tipping and collapsing into the river. And there's actually one of those trees along the shoreline that has already fallen, I think in the past few years. So really we're just looking to protect the trees and also stabilize the shoreline here. This is just a plan view of the property. This is kind of the area with the undermined trees here that we're talking about. It shows the flood zone elevation of 9 in red, that highest astronomical tide elevation at 6.5 in blue. This is the remains of the former gristmill dam, and then the gristmill properties just across the way. So this is the property. We'll go to the next slide. So what we're proposing to do is backfill that void area, the open space beneath the trees, with some gravel. There'll be 102 linear feet of riprap added to the base of the shoreline embankment to the toe to protect that from future erosion after we backfill beneath the trees. And then kind of up gradient in this area here, there'll be a 10-foot wide native vegetated buffer. And there's already native plantings in that buffer area, but the plan will be whatever gets disturbed as part of construction will replant with native vegetation. But the goal of the project is just to prevent tree loss and then stabilize that shoreline. And if I go back to this figure here, kind of what the problem is that obviously the Kennebunk River's tidal, and as the tide comes in, it's gonna come this way and rip around the grist property, and as the tide goes out, it's gonna rip around. So kind of during the tide cycle, during high flows of the river, you're just getting continuous erosion of this area because of where the former remains of the gristmill dam are. So that's kind of what's going on. This is the proposed improvements, just a plan view of them, showing that 102 linear feet of riprap, the 10-foot wide vegetated buffer kind of in the hatched, the crisscross hatch, and then here is just a, if I can get to the next slide, just a profile view of what that's going to look like.
How big were those contour lines? Those are 2 foot?
Those were, I believe, 1-footers.
1 foot, thank you.
Yep. And then, yeah, here's the profile view of what that's going to look like from the side. So it's 2 rows of 2-foot diameter boulders, though the back row is going to be kind of like embedded into the shoreline. This will be the gravel that backfills underneath the exposed tree roots. That's the kind of your stack of rocks in front of everything, and then this will be your 10-foot wide vegetative buffer. Let's see. Really quick, just on project permitting requirements. So because we're within 25 feet of the highest astronomical tide, we needed a NERPA permit from DEP. We actually got that permit by rule approved last week, and I'll be submitting that as part of a response to the planning board comments that we received, the comment letter, or sorry, the staff comment letter that we received. I'm here for site plan review, and then once we get this approval, we're going to roll on to activities and land use and then flood hazard permits. But we're hoping to get this constructed as soon as possible, hopefully while the ground's still frozen. Let's see, I wrote down the site plan review comments here, but I don't know, Galen, if you want to work through that, talk through them, or?
Just a quick question and
Yeah.
comment. So, none of this property owns the gristmill dam works?
No, actually, it does own the dam.
Yeah.
It owns the dam, okay.
The dam, but not the gristmill property, it's just the way.
Right, but the dam is owned by them. Sorry, we're not on
Exactly.
microphone. If you could
Yes,
confirm.
yes,
Okay,
the
thanks.
property is, the dam is part of the property.
All right, and secondly, if memory serves from canoeing along there, there are pieces of ledge that have not eroded, but they're places, so you're in effect creating an artificial ledge. I see
Yes.
nodding from Bill.
Yes, exactly.
We're extending,
No, go ahead. Yeah.
we're extending the.
All right, you can come
You have to go up to the microphone.
And identify yourself, thanks.
I'm Peter Warren, I'm the owner of the property, along with my wife. The places that you've seen that are ledge are perfectly fine, right? And
They've already been scoured away.
They've been scoured away, and there's actually some mud that just sort of accumulates there. It's all up the creek a little bit from there is where the erosion is. And as Laney said, it's the tidal action
Yep.
and also wave action from boats.
And we've all been up the creek at some point.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And we're trying to be up the creek safely.
Yes, so it's another, you're creating a ledge that doesn't
Yes,
exist.
You're right, we're extending the ledge up to, almost up to the dam.
Good, thank you.
Effectively connecting the dots with the ledge.
We'll go through this memo in a second, but let me just
Yeah.
ask Rick and George if you have any
Well-
additional questions.
Two things, I'm looking at the GIS map, just out of curiosity, it doesn't really weigh much on my decision-making here, but how's the ground there? Is it mud? I mean, are you gonna come in with riprap and it's all gonna sink? Have you planned for, you know what I mean, like how is that?
Yeah, so we're gonna, beneath the riprap, we're gonna be placing a geotextile fabric that will help, kind of spread out that load of the rocks. So number one, that the geotextile is gonna help, to not let those sink. But number two, they're only 2-foot diameter boulders. They're still big, but we're not talking like a couple thousand pounds. So we don't think it should be too much of an issue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's river, not ocean.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, yeah. And so what will the impact be with 10 North Street? You know, it looks like there's a property right next to you. You know,
Yeah.
Like as you showed the flow and how, you know, the river's coming and it's eating up here and then it's eating up here. Where is 10? Is 10 here?
10 is completely off the page on this one, I believe.
Okay, so it won't.
We're on the other side of the dam, so it shouldn't.
So it's on the other side of the dam, it
Yeah.
won't have an impact.
You really, if I may, from where it is and where the bank is overhanging, you really can't see it unless you're canoeing or kayaking right up to it.
Okay.
In fact, this has probably been going on for years, and I just didn't realize it until I happened to kayak up there, and I went, oh my God.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
crawl underneath those trees.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Okay.
I found myself wondering if you'd seen the work that the Walsh is doing up at the golf course.
I was
because
gonna ask the same thing.
We were just showing
my
better
first
pictures.
thought
Yeah.
was, these pictures look awful
Familiar.
familiar. So it's same river, same bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, right down the stream, yeah. Mhm.
So you'll benefit, I think, from the work that is going before. If there's any learning curve, and, I mean, there's always a learning curve.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Can I just ask a question? So you're gonna put gravel under these roots exposed?
Yes.
I mean, is that gonna benefit the tree, or is the tree eventually, the roots gonna die anyways?
Yeah, it's for so the gravel will provide a stable base to the trees that they can rest on. The trees themselves, the roots are pretty healthy, given everything, and they're in good condition. But yeah, so water can drain in and out of that, but give that stability.
Okay.
We're hoping, yeah.
Can you say something about how you're gonna bring construction equipment and the boulders in? What are you thinking there?
Yeah, so it's actually right behind you.
We're gonna go there.
There's let me see, I think I have a different screenshot where you can see the driveway. There's the edge of the driveway right here, and so that construction access road was in red. Oop, yeah, so we're gonna come right off the driveway, access down around this tree, and then we'll get equipment in. We're probably gonna pick a couple spots for it to go down and work from. The trees are gonna be an obstacle. We might have to get a little bit creative, like, work it from the side, if we can get an excavator down over here and try to place rocks in front of these trees. So we'll work with the contractor on exact means and methods when we have one selected, but that's kind of the game plan. Bring everything from the driveway down, and then probably work it with a small piece of equipment down on the shoreline.
So that red honeycomb there is just a drawing artifact. You're not gonna lay fabric down or any
We're planning to, yeah,
You
just,
are?
yeah, just to make sure that we're not impacting the lawn too much.
Or mats of some sort?
Exactly, either mats or a small construction access road.
Nothing stored out on the road or?
Nope, everything will be on property.
Okay.
Galen, would you mind taking us through
Yep.
any outstanding comments on the 8 North Street memo?
Absolutely. So first one was just the abutters letter, just having both owners sign off on it.
Perfect, yes, and
Yeah.
I'll submit that on Friday. He's got it right there.
Good work.
Next one was the deed that was provided. There was a few easements that were in there as well.
Yes, yeah, we'll be submitting an updated plan set showing both of those.
Okay. And then setbacks from the bodies of water, lot lines. We noticed that there was, the setbacks haven't been identified for the project, unless I didn't see it somewhere, but,
No, they're not on there, but they will be on the upcoming plan set.
okay. Existing features, the planning board should confirm with the applicant that none of the trees on the plan are 8 inches in diameter or greater, which would require labeling. So it's more of a comment for
Well,
the,
clearly the ones that were shown in the picture are of that size.
Yeah,
Those are the
so,
ones that this project is kind of addressing.
yeah.
Maybe
In our
a
updated,
narrative that said that would be fine, and if you just tell me that, I'm okay. Are there others that you need to be particularly careful of in the driveway, or?
no, it's really just those two down on the shoreline, which we can label, the size and the type of those on the updated plan set, but we would request a waiver to labeling all the rest of the trees on site.
yeah.
Not a problem.
I think on the, for the one that's gonna be recorded eventually, that doesn't have all the color on it, like, I think just labeling, you know, the trees that are right there, that would be
We can
helpful for
definitely do
them.
that.
You include the contours, that's taken care of. A parking plan has not been provided. Just, again, explain where the construction activities, we did see the access that was from the driveway, but, where were you planning to store the materials and,
We can identify that, yeah. Okay.
again, these are all fairly minor. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be an issue. There was no existing wastewater information. The applicant should confirm that they will not damage or impact the existing systems on the site.
This is public sewer there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep,
So if there are any
Just to know
lines.
where that is would be
sure, yeah.
risk mitigation, if not that.
Yeah, we can get that labeled.
And then the plan does indicate a 10-foot vegetative buffer of native plantings, but staff was unable to determine the number of plantings, the species used, and the approximate time of the plantings for maintenance plan.
Yeah,
For
I wrote down, replant with what?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. We'll add that to the plans as well. Right now, tentatively, we're gonna go with the white heath aster and then Virginia rose. But I'll have that on the information that comes in Friday.
Okay. And then other than that, you just have, again, staff had a suggested waiver for the lighting requirements. We don't think that's applicable. Signing requirements, that's not applicable. And then the proposed floor area, that should also be a waiver from the planning board because again, that's not dealing with this project. The only other notes of outstanding was the application notes that there is an increase in impervious surface. Staff notes that the proposed riprap could be counted as non-vegetative surface and included in the calculations for areas previously vegetated. So I don't know what the,
Yeah, so if you can see on the plan, the blue line is the highest astronomical tide line. So all new proposed riprap is actually below that elevation, which I think is excluded from the shoreline zone lot coverage calculation. So I think that it would be a 0 increase on that one.
okay.
I agree, that makes sense.
Okay.
And that's it. This is a site plan
This is
application.
site plan
Yep.
initial review.
So you have to find it complete and then schedule the public hearing.
I would propose that, that this application is complete.
I would second that.
All those in favor? Yes.
That was pending the outstanding.
Pending the outstanding comments.
Yep.
Exactly. Yes.
Looks good.
And estimate on or about next couple of days is what I think I heard you say.
Yep.
Okay, so, given that, receipt of that in the next couple of days, we would target a 4 February?
February 4th?
That sounds good.
Is that
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Case manager, I think I'm on Salty Acres.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Yep.
Get the easy ones.
I hope so.
The old Salty Acres, eh?
The old Salty Acres, back again.
It's like a cursing arthritic ridden.
Am I good to jump right in?
Let me just announce that
Okay.
this is item 4 on the agenda, item 3 on the agenda, excuse me, 251004 Salty Acres. And this is, we're scheduled for a public hearing tonight, but appreciate it if you would remind us what we're looking at.
Sure, absolutely. So we've got the 3-lot subdivision down here coming off of what is already an existing right-of-way serving 1 lot out back. These would be 3 new lots. There has been a plan change since the last time that we were here, which was, you can see that 100-foot buffer is shown from the vernal pool, and we've pulled everything out of that area, so
Thank you for
that
doing
is good to go. Thank you, Rob. He took care of that for us. So that was sort of the only, I think, outstanding major issue last time that we needed to address before he came back tonight. I did address, we had received a number of comments from one of the neighbors. I addressed those in the last hearing, but I'm happy to recap on any of those. And then just a reminder that we have a few waiver requests in that we're hoping will get voted on tonight. And then I'm happy to answer any specific questions that we haven't gone over so far if you guys have them.
I don't have any
Any
additional questions, no.
Additional questions? Do you want to come back for those waivers after we listen to open it for a public hearing?
Yes.
Anything from the code office?
Nope.
And is there anyone in the room who's here to speak? Anyone from the public to speak to this? I'm opening the public hearing, just to be clear. How about in internet land?
We have 5 attendees, but no hands raised.
All right, then I'll close the public hearing without any public comment, which is fine. And go on to address the concern we had about, remind us now about which waivers that we are talking about. I think one was a,
Yeah, we had a hydrogeological study was one, high-intensity soil study, and then we had road waivers. So there was some conversation, and Galen maybe should shed some light on this, but we have the road being centered within the right-of-way because it's already an existing condition and it's not centered, to get a waiver for that. And then the width of the roadway. And I think Galen said that we might need both of those waivers, but twice for different, one for site plan and one
Yeah,
for
one's in the land
subdivision.
use and one's in the subdivision standards.
oh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So both 415
Yeah, 415 and 240.
and 240. But it's the same 2 criteria in both cases, and you're saying that we have, the planning board has the right to waive those on 240?
So for 240, you do have that ability.
That
under
discretion.
Yes, you have that discretion if warranted, yep.
So, I know we talked about the road center and road width, and thought that was pro forma, right? We've done that before, and that looked good. And I feel better now knowing that the 100-foot buffer is gonna be taken care of, that we're not messing with the road. For
Sure,
the same reason, we're trying to be good to the environment here. And,
absolutely.
the high-intensity soil survey, I don't have a problem with waiving that in this case.
Neither do I.
I don't have a problem with it. We talked about it last meeting.
That's right.
Yeah.
So again, we will need to revisit and document those when the final application comes through, but it was preliminary, and unless something radically changes, which I don't anticipate, we're good with those 3.
And then the hydrogeological study as well.
Yes,
Okay, perfect, thank you.
yes, yes.
Yes.
And all
Yes,
speaks
yes.
to everybody.
And, there's another thing I think. Just see something. Did you document a road maintenance agreement?
Yeah, so we have a drafted road maintenance agreement, which we will submit with our final
Okay.
submittal, yeah.
Right, I think we said there's gonna have to be more polish on that, you know,
Yeah.
in the final, but you're the case manager?
The case manager.
Do you want to draft the makings of a letter on this and then send it to me and we'll together conspire
Yes,
to put it out?
yes,
I'll send you a template for that,
yes, you
or
will,
a model.
right.
So with that, I would move that we should approve this application. Do I have a second?
I second that.
In favor?
Aye,
Thank you very much.
Thanks very
thank you,
much
a lot
for
of work.
your clarity and
Good work, good patience.
It's been almost a year.
One more time for a final with you all.
it should be easy.
It's been almost a year.
Really? Wow.
When projects like this disappear for a while and then come back, you get to stare back, I've seen this before. I've seen this one. I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Looks familiar.
The engineering takes a lot longer.
It does, it does.
busy.
Yes, they are. Thank you.
so much.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Is there anything else on the agenda?
Just a finding of fact.
Yes, there is a findings of fact that Peter wrote and I offered to read.
In his absence.
There's the two copies for signing.
These are for signing?
Yep, they're for
Is that
signing.
what you're reading?
You can read them.
Just as soon read
Okay.
the official one, just in case.
Okay.
And I also do have other
Give a
business.
couple of other things.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thanks again.
Thank you. It doesn't involve the bylaws.
we'll talk about that then.
I'm going to read the findings of fact that Peter wrote in his absence. I'll read them. This is the Kennebunkport Planning Board findings of fact and decision. The application of Christopher R. Hickade, and Laura A. Hickade, revocable trust for the alteration and expansion of an existing single-family dwelling at 10 Church Street. And I apologize if I butchered your last name. Following site plan reviews pursuant to the Kennebunkport Land Use Ordinance held on 17 December 2025 and 7 January 2026, and a public hearing held on 7 January 2026, the Kennebunkport Planning Board makes the following findings of fact and conclusions and renders the following decision subject to the conditions enumerated below. Findings of fact are as follows. The applicant is Christopher R. Hickade and Laura A. Hickade Revocable Trust, Christopher Hickade and Laura Hickade trustees of 10 Church Street, Kennebunkport, Maine 04046. In a letter dated 18 December 2025, the applicant authorized the Kennebunk River Architects to act as their agent in this matter. Michael R. Bedell, R.A. of Kennebunk River Architects, represented the applicant in all discussions before the planning board. Item 2, the property location is 10 Church Street, Kennebunkport, Maine 04046, and is identified as map 11, block 2, lot 14, in the village residential zone on the municipal tax assessor's maps. 3, the 20,122 square foot lot is also within the shoreland zone and partially within the resource protection zone. It includes an existing dwelling almost entirely within the 75-foot setback of the tidal Kennebunk River. 4, the applicant demonstrated a legal interest in the property by providing a warranty deed for the property conveyed to the Christopher R. Hickade and Laura A. Hickade Revocable Trust on 11 August 2025, which was recorded in the York County Registry of Deeds in Book 19717, page 177. 5, the existing structure is a single-family ranch-style home that sits atop a property that falls off toward the river. From the street, the structure appears to be one story, but lower level opens out to the riverside. It is largely non-conforming structure with respect to the 75-foot resource setback. 6, in an application dated 1 December 2025, the applicant proposes to remove an existing lower-level riverside deck and construct a smaller top-floor family room addition, which will be set back an additional 3 feet from the resource, and to add a covered porch over the front entryway. In total, these projects would remove 313.5 square feet, while the new family room extension with a bluestone patio directly below and front entryway would add a total of 230.5 square feet, representing a net reduction of 83 square feet within the 75-foot resource setback. 7, on top of the project outlined above, the applicant proposes to expand the garage forward toward the street, all outside of the 75-foot resource setback. The total net increase in cubic footage for all modifications, 15%, is well within the allowable 30% expansion for non-conforming structures. 8, on 18 December 2025, the applicant received a permit by rule approval for their plans from the Maine Department of Environmental Protection, with certain stipulations surrounding soil disturbances and stabilizations. The applicant plans to revegetate any exposed surfaces with grass. 9, pursuant to the requirements of Article 1010A of the Land Use Ordinance, Guidelines for Decisions, the Planning Board shall approve a site plan application unless it makes a negative ruling on one or more of the following identified findings, which would otherwise compel denial. And A through G through P, all of them inclusively, there are no negative findings. 10, when a proposed development is located within the shoreland or resource protection zone, which this is, in addition to the requirements of the Kennebunkport land use ordinances outlined above, approval of the project also requires that the board make positive findings based on the information presented that the proposed use, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 additional criteria, and all of those are met or one of them is not applicable. So in conclusion, Article 1010A of the Land Use Ordinance mandates that the Planning Board shall approve a site plan application unless it makes one or more identified findings that would otherwise compel denial, and as noted above, the Board makes no such findings. Decision is that the site plan application identified above is hereby approved. And there's 4 conditions that I'll read to you. Conditions of approval are: 1, the applicant pursuant to 1012E shall notify the Planning Board prior to the transfer of rights to construct an approved project. 2, the applicant must record a copy of this decision and provide proof of such recordation in the York County Register of Deeds before any permits may issue or before any construction activity may commence. 3, any exterior lighting on the structure shall conform to Chapter 245 of the town's exterior lighting ordinance, and the details of any proposed exterior fixtures shall be supplied to the code enforcement officer with the building permit application. 4, the applicant shall comply with all terms and conditions of the Town of Kennebunkport ordinances, as well as the Maine DEP approvals prior to the issuance of a building permit. And that's dated 21 January 2026 by the Kennebunkport Planning Board. Thank you.
Magically written.
And red.
Peter does a nice,
She's very thorough. And lyrical. Adds depth.
not a liberal arts guy.
Never get bored.
And with that, Galen, you said you have an additional topic or two?
I do. So, as you remember, I guess it's been a few weeks ago, maybe a month, the planning board asked for the town staff to forward our subdivision ordinance as it relates to stormwater performance standards to Acorn, our third party consultant that helps us with stormwater standards, to update our subdivision standards as it relates to subdivisions, yep, and,
So Acorn has looked at.
Yep.
The section of 415 that covers
Yep.
stormwater.
Yep.
Okay.
and, they were already looking at section 240, which is your land use ordinance subdivision standards. Sorry, your stormwater standards for site plan. So what we did was we made sure that they were communicating with each other, and it makes sense for both a site plan perspective as well as a subdivision perspective, because that comes before the board. So I did send those copies out to you all to review and read. They already had to be sent over to the select board for their review, to meet the June, ballot. So I didn't know if you had a chance to look at them, or if you, okay. Did you want me to run through them, or what?
Do you think that would be, is it in a form that you can do that with? You say run through it.
Do you want me to go through like the ordinance language here, like right now, like, or?
I don't, it wasn't something that I've been yearning for, if that's what you're asking.
What is it, what do we have to just read it and approve it, or what do you, or just
asking?
understand what it says?
To what end? To what end?
So what we were looking to do is to update the ordinance language, because you do have subdivisions that go through Acorn review, and Acorn is having these challenges in reviewing the
And you're
ordinance.
saying this
if you throw it up
isn't
the
up to
screen, we'll
date.
just compare the two.
Correct.
and
Yeah,
So
You
what,
can do it.
I mean, in an ideal world, they would come back and say, here's the changes that we recommend you make.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we could look at those. Is that what you sent us?
Yes, that's what I sent
haven't
you.
looked at it
Yep,
yet?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all redlined, so it's the original text. that
Yeah,
it
so
shows
what do you
is-
need us to do, just review it and say that looks good, or?
Yeah, that's the
That
intent.
we
We're spending
understand
longer
it
talking
even.
about this than
Yeah.
we take to read it.
How about if we, I mean, I'm.
Well, you
nervous.
said that it's redlined, right?
Yes.
It should be very straightforward.
Oh, I love that attitude.
Okay,
Oh,
and
I hope
do
it
we
is.
need to do anything else other than be knowledgeable about this, or we don't have to approve something?
So you, normally, historically speaking, when it came to subdivision amendments, the planning board historically approved those
They
changes.
own that document.
Yes. The language, however, also says that once it's codified, it goes to the legislative body, which is the select board.
That's the only part I-
So what we've been doing customarily is when it comes to changes to the subdivision, we would like you all to review it and to consent that we think this is the right path. And also for the select board to eventually consent before we can approve it through the
If we
town
can-
meeting.
If we cover it consent tonight, will that expedite things with the select board so we can sort of get on the ballot?
I want to read it.
The select board's gonna be, yeah, the select board hasn't had time to, I'm gonna be introducing it on Thursday.
Then
So
let,
they-
I would like to just read it on my own.
You mean tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
just to be clear.
Yeah.
What time are you doing it?
6 o'clock.
In the morning?
No,
Yes.
Will it be
Oh.
first on the agenda or
It's not during your tour.
Yeah, so we can, I'll just read it in the
before
morning.
public complaints or?
We're talking about a couple of pages here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
it's
Why don't we do that?
2
What size
pages,
font is it?
2 pages, yeah.
Is it Helvetica?
I don't know. Is it standard?
Okay, so we will. I think what I'm hearing is, you've got a proposed set of changes that came from Acorn
Mhm.
to bring it into
21st century,
2026.
yes.
You'd like us to review and make sure we understand it and hopefully approve, although our technical expertise in that area is probably gonna amount to, if we can't understand it, it's a problem. But if we can understand it, we're gonna say that's great.
But I
Send you a note?
believe,
You can send us a note, yeah.
but I believe what we will read is Acorn saying, here's what we recommend.
Yes.
As opposed to, hey, Rick, what do you think we should do?
Absolutely,
So it's, okay, perfect.
because if it's the
Opinion
latter,
counts though.
they're
Oh,
gonna
I
be
know.
sorely disappointed.
Yes, perfect.
Something else.
I think that's it.
So let me just,
I thought you had two things.
since you
You had
reminded
two
me,
things? I thought you said you
You
had
said
two
two
things.
things.
I have a request
Okay.
that I sent out an email. Rick asked what I thought was a good question here. today, which was, of all the applications that come in to the planning, to the code office, why is it that only, I think it was 33 last year of them came to the planning board? What is it? And if you go to 240 and 450, you'll see that it's not all in one place, but it basically says this type of thing requires planning board review, and this type of thing requires planning board review. I tried to take that and I put it into about 10 PowerPoint slides. I think I'm probably still too wordy, but I'm asking, would you take a look at that? And let's, again, does it make sense to you? Did I miss something that, hey, this doesn't cover this situation at all? I think it'd be nice just to maybe take it up at a training session.
Have you and Nadia seen that yet? I don't,
So Nadia's been
Junior
out,
basket.
Nadia's been out and I've been covering
oh,
everything.
so don't.
So I have the email and it's on my
It
list.
doesn't have to be done
I-
on
so-
Thursday, but
Yeah, I looked at the PowerPoint, and as someone new coming into the environment, I thought, oh, this is pretty good. Because and even if I was just a citizen that was planning a project, it would be nice to, hey, how am I gonna maneuver through this process, and what do I really need? I don't know if we already have something online with that, but.
why is this before us? Well, we have 240 and
Yeah,
415,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a legal document. It's,
Additional use of subdivision,
you'll see. Try to
Yeah,
cover it.
yeah.
non-conforming.
So with that, if there's nothing else, I would move to adjourn.
Come on, mate, second that.
Second that. All in favor?
Thank you. Adjourned.